why do you think that women deserve less?
Well, I explained this in my book more, but it's more along the lines of guys need to stop pedestalizing girls that don't deserve the pedestalization. Because a lot of girls come in and just use guys for certain things, and guys need to be able to identify that and not pedestalize those types of predatory females.
Okay, but don't you think that women do the same thing, like vice versa?
What do you mean by that?
The same way, right? Like some women pedestalize men that treat them poorly, right? Or even like monetary reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
So
But
I think it just happens like...
For sure. Are there some women getting finessed by men? Of course. But the majority of people getting finessed are absolutely men. I mean, there's not an epidemic of, guys running around getting free dinners from women. But there is a whole trend of women getting free dinners from guys that they don't like.
But I think there's a whole trend of women getting finessed by men who promise them a lot of things initially, and then they have sex with them, and then these women end up, and I know these women, right? Like They end up feeling very used and abused, and these men, I know because I'm friends with them, right? Like they end up feeling very empowered by the fact that they're able to use women for whatever reason they can. So I feel like there's an epidemic on both sides.
Well, the thing is that the women pick the men. They pick the wrong guys. They pick the bad boys. They pick the guys that are tall and good looking, that make money.
Okay, but then men pick women, right, that are very good looking, and they seem like...
Most guys don't select. They take what they can get.
I would say,
majority.
If we're talking about like the top 1% of men, right, like they select women based on appearance.
Yeah.
Same way where the top 1% of women select men.
But that's a minority.
But
that's a minority.
Same way women who are able to have like a general choice of men with monetary value, that's the minority of women. They are not able to select men who genuinely are able to provide for them in a...
Not true at all. Average women have way more reach and access and leverage in dating than even a celebrity man. An average woman can go pull a celebrity. An average guy can't.
An average woman can go pull a celebrity to just sleep with him.
This is true. But at least she gets access, though. That's my point. The access is what opens the door.
Okay, but access to just having sex with someone for a woman, for most women, I would say, is not something that they genuinely want.
Well, it's her job.
Like, they're using that as an opportunity to have access to the man in a form of having something intimate, in form of a relationship, right? So
but at least they get their foot in the door is what I mean. They get access and the ability to even deal with these men versus the other way around. Men would never have that opportunity. But I would say that women are absolutely running loops around guys when it comes to dating and the sexual marketplace, whereas men are not. Only a minority of men are able to finesse, but a majority of women can absolutely finesse, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah.
Finesse in terms of monetary value?
Extract value from the opposite gender while not necessarily reciprocating. A majority of women are able to do that versus a majority of men are not. Does that make sense?
Yes, no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They absolutely can. I mean, this is just the fact. If you were to walk around right now and ask guys, hey, do you want to date? They'd go out with you. Versus if I did it, I would maybe get maybe out of 100 girls, maybe 5 or 10. If you asked 100 dudes, you'd get 90. We're not the same. And I'm a celebrity. So let that sink in. And no offense to, and I don't mean that to insult you. I don't mean that to insult you. I'm just trying to demonstrate a point that an average woman has more market pull than even a top tier guy.
Okay, so then,
and that's just the way it is.
So your goal overall is to what? Make men have...
Well, understand their value and stop simping on women. That's really what it comes down to.
I don't think most men are simping on women. I think
really?
I genuinely, I think that most men just like their ability to take advantage of most women. Like, I don't want to say take advantage in terms of like they're genuinely evil inside, but I think
if that were the case, we wouldn't have a sprawling pornography industry that we have now. If that wasn't the case, we wouldn't have so many guys struggling to get dates and courtship, etc. Like,
I don't think that we have so much struggle. I think the pornography industry in general is something that catalyzes men into objectifying women in terms of.
But its success proves my point. Like, the reason why so many guys use porn and why it's so ubiquitous in society today is because of men's struggle with women. That's precisely a big part of it. A lot of guys are simps.
Okay, well, I would say the reason why a lot of women don't use pornography as a term...
Because they don't need to.
No, not because they don't need to, but because they... but because they genuinely don't, they feel very objectified already in society, where for them, when a woman has sex with another man, she's already like demeaned in a certain way. He has taken something from her. So I think that a reason why it's more prevalent for men to use pornography than women is because for men it's more accepted than it is for women. If a woman watches pornography, then she's immediately already lesser than. Whereas for
not
men,
necessarily.
It's
just that women don't derive the same sexual pleasure from the physicality in their eyes like men do. Men are very visual, women are not. Women need more of an emotional connection, which is why men like porn a lot more than women do. So, look, my statement is this: most men are simps, and my proof for that is the sprawling pornography industry, OnlyFans, these models, etc. Like sex sells, and women are able to leverage their sexuality in compliance, whether it's resources, time, or whatever, because a lot of guys are simps and don't understand their value. Versus, I know you made the argument, well, a lot of women simp on men. That's a staggering minority. Versus a majority of men are simps. Absolutely. Absolutely. The nightlife industry, that club right now, there's a bunch of women in there that are getting free drinks as we speak, right? Because these guys don't understand their value and don't understand that women need to earn that value. But guys don't have the same ability to understand females as women understand men. You guys know what we want, and we kind of know what you guys want, but most guys fail. So that's why I'm saying a lot of guys are simps. Again, you...
Okay, wait, can I make a point?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just, okay, if you're saying...
What is your argument specifically?
That most guys, when you say simps,
yes.
I would say most guys specifically are very hungry for a sexual connection with women. And for that sexual connection with women, they are willing to go above and beyond.
And simp.
Okay, but for a sexual connection. Whereas most women, they are hunting for something more. And so even though most men will be able to get that sexual connection from women
they can't even get that. They can't even get that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They can't even get that. That's why porn is so popular. They can't even get that. An average guy that's 18 to 21 is either sexless or a virgin. I'm telling you. Hasn't had sex in a year. Like, men struggle with this stuff. But and I don't expect you to know this because you're a woman. It doesn't matter to you. But a lot of guys struggle with that type of stuff. See, you're looking at me like I'm crazy. She doesn't even know.
No, I don't think that you're crazy. I just think that the struggle that men have with receiving some sort of sexual access does not overweigh the fact that a lot of women struggle with getting something that's more than just a sexual access, especially in today's society. With pornography especially escalating and everything, where I think that issue is almost equal to that issue. Where a lot of women, especially the ones that I talk to, which are genuinely good girls, who are not able to receive more from a man because what they are taught, especially by watching a lot of stuff and rhetoric online, where the more sex you have with women and the more that shows your ability to be a man, right? And so I think that rhetoric is equal to the same way that men are unable.
Not at all. It's not at all. The dating marketplace is completely. It's not. You're trying to argue that it's symmetrical and men have the same.
I do think it's symmetrical.
It's not at all. Women have far more opportunity than men do. Far more.
Opportunity for what?
To meet higher status men and potentially get in a relationship with them. Yes, those men might look at them as a sexual object only.
Yes, but you know that. You know that most of them will be looking at
However, it does not refute the fact that the woman gets the ability to have airtime with the guy and prove him wrong.
Why does airtime matter if you already know the results?
Because you get the opportunity to prove him wrong. You can show, I am different from these other girls, versus I'm saying men don't even get the opportunity. See, and that's a privilege that you guys have that you don't even know or acknowledge. So I always say, privilege is invisible to those that have it. And women have a privilege to be able to at least meet these men, talk to these men, and get a feel. Where versus a guy, he can't even get in the door most of the time unless he's a somebody. But anyway, no worries. Yeah, no worries.
That was fantastic.
No worries.
That was fantastic.